Welcome to Keys to Real Estate with the House Lady. I'm your host, Estrella Carter, here in Minnesota. This podcast is all about helping you open the right doors. Whether you're buying your first home, investing in a property, or just curious about the market. And if you're tuning in from outside Minnesota, no worries. I can connect you with a trusted realtor through my national and international network. Each episode, I'll share insights, stories, and conversations with experts and clients to give you the tools and confidence you need to live your best life through real estate. So let's get started. Hey, Estrella Carter here, the House Lady. October is Hispanic Heritage Month, and today we're talking about the incredible impact Hispanic communities are making in real estate, both nationally and right here in Minnesota. Today I have a special guest. Her name is Claudia. She's my friend, business partner, and realtor who has been leading and inspiring in this space. So, Claudia, thank you so much for being here. And why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Claudia, and I'm a realtor, and I'm so happy to be here. I took a little too long to become a realtor, and when I finally did, I realized this is my passion, and this is what I need to be doing and what I was meant to do. So I'm excited.
So what influenced you in becoming a realtor?
So for me, prior to going into the real estate, I was in the car business, in the car industry. So I started as a salesperson, and then I was in special finance. And my clientele was mostly Hispanic or ITIN holders, people with less than perfect credit. So I found myself more coaching them and counseling them on how to prepare themselves and their credit in order to get car loans. And then from there it grew, and I thought, let me do something a little bit bigger and more meaningful. Of course, having a car is a lifeline, and it was always a necessity for my clients. So it was a big deal, but owning a home, it just means so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those that don't know, can you explain what an ITIN holder is?
It's an individual tax payer number. So that is what people use in place of a social security number. So a lot of immigrants use that to pay taxes, and they can obtain credit that way as well.
Wow. So can you share a little bit more about, we're both in Minnesota, we're realtors. We have different stories. I'm not bilingual, biracial. I would like to say I'm bilingual, but I'm not as fluent as you are. I'm Mexican American and African American. My mother was born here in Minnesota. She's Mexican. Mm-hmm. Her mother was born here in Minnesota. Tell me a little bit about your background, and then tell me how that kind of helped shape you helping more of the Hispanic population.
So I am first generation. My parents are immigrants from Mexico. I grew up speaking Spanish at home. We were not allowed to speak English in the house, so I am bilingual. Growing up, I was a kid going to doctor appointments with my parents, or going to the bank, or always translating. And I became really comfortable doing that. So how it shaped me in real estate, or in everything that I've done as far as a career or work goes, I well, with real estate, it's huge because we're helping fill the gap. We're helping people accomplish their dreams and most importantly their American dream. And with the Latino community, they want to work with someone that they're relatable to, or that they can relate to, or someone that knows their struggle, their journey, that understands where they come from and can understand them and communicate and have that empathy that's needed during that, stressful process. And also someone that's going to have their best interests at heart and not just looking for the next paycheck, but really care about them and guide them in the right direction with their biggest investment.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important. Can you share any recent success stories around helping
Oh my God, yeah.
Hispanic
Well,
clients?
every transaction for me is a success story. I would say 80% of my business is their first-time home buyers. I would say a big chunk of that are immigrants or first-generation buyers. So a lot of success stories. I can tell you one of the most recent ones was. I have a lot of them, but it was a single mom, and she is an immigrant. She's a Spanish speaker. She's learning English right now, and she has two little ones, and she's tired of living in an apartment and just didn't like the setting where she was at, and she just really wanted to give that stability to her children. And the success there too is that not only did she work hard towards building her credit and getting her finances in order, the search was stressful for her. She was overwhelmed. She thought, maybe I won't be able to maintain a home. Maybe I won't be able to make it. So just having to remind her of how strong she is and reassure her and give her all the information that she needs, and the reduction to ridiculous, like doing numbers with her. Yes. And just making her feel confident about her decision and reminding her the importance of this investment and how it's going to be a good thing in the long run, and how her kids are going to benefit from this as well. Generational wealth comes in there, right?
Yes.
And then also she was a recipient from one of the programs that MMMC or MMCDC was providing, which was up to $32,000. That's forgiven after 5 years. So she was a recipient of that grant. So
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it really, and I have so many more.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And, there are some realtors that just work with certain populations. There's some that say, I'm only going to work with sell $500,000 homes, but what makes us so unique is that we're still for the people. We still have, those $1 million clients or whatever, but we still remember our roots and our heritage and the importance of that. And Claudia, that's why I chose you to come today and be on this podcast, because you just make a big impact in the Hispanic population, but you also work with a lot of other populations as well. But since it's Hispanic Heritage Month, I really wanted to highlight our heritage in real estate. Let's discuss, you mentioned barriers that your client was going through. Let's discuss more challenges and barriers that are going on today. Now, I know that the Hispanic home ownership rate is growing. I have some statistics here. It shows with U.S. home ownership rates, the white population has 73 to 74%, Asian 62 to 63%, Hispanic Latino 49 to 51%, Black 44 to 46%. Now in Minnesota, the Hispanic population is leading with 49 to 53%, and then the white population is 72 to 77%. But can we talk about, besides, we know that there's financial challenges, but what are some other barriers and challenges that Latinos are experiencing today when it comes to accessing home ownership and generational wealth?
I think that there's a lack of information and a lack of knowledge of the resources that are out there. Like, for example, I work with a lot of nonprofits that prepare you with your credit, and they can look at your budgeting and your finances. And these resources are free. And there's not a lot of knowledge of those resources out there. So people tend to get comfortable with renting, or they really feel like that's not for me. I'm never going to make enough money, because there's also that urban legend that you need 20% down in order to purchase a home.
Right.
And that is a complete myth. So for a lot of them, they just think that it's just not in the cards for them, that they're never going to be able to save up that kind of money, or maybe that their credit's never going to be good enough. So there's a lot of insecurity, because there's a lack of knowledge and education out there. So knowledge is power, and getting out there and spreading the word and telling people, hey, I can connect you to this resources. I can help you. And, credit building doesn't require paying anyone. There are companies out there or nonprofits that will help them with that will teach them about credit and how to finance and how to just be smart with their money. And it's actually easier than they think, and they're always surprised at the end that they can actually accomplish this.
Yes. And that's one thing that, I love that we can offer. We have our internal resources as realtors. I remember a few years ago, I was helping one of my Mexican clients, an ITIN holder, sell a house that he had contract for deed. And it seems like the business that held, or the lender that held the contract for deed, it was like they were in shock, or they were like, they couldn't believe that he had access to a realtor that knew what they were doing, because my client was going to make a profit off of this. And good thing I had a really good title company, because the title company had to like let them know, okay, you're not following the law here, but you need to, at closing, you need to release, the deed and this. But it was almost like they were not expecting for him to sell the house. And it was almost as if they were upset that he was making a profit, because it was like they were being predatory.
They're very, contract for deeds are very predatorial.
Yes.
And I'm glad you're bringing this up, because a lot of people, they want to buy a house, but then again, they don't do the research, or they're not connected to the right realtor that really pushes them to look at, let's meet with the lender. There are ITIN lenders. They will give you a mortgage with an ITIN number. It might come with a higher down payment, or maybe a little bit of a higher interest rate, but there are available, and that's better than a contract for deed.
Yes.
And I've seen this as well. I discourage a lot of people from contract for deeds, because...
Oh, tell me more about that. Why?
Okay, so...
Because this is a debate. There might be some that disagree, but that's okay. There's there's pros and cons for everything. But what I love about what I'm doing for this podcast is that we are not going to fake. We are going to be real about real estate.
About everything.
We're going to be real about real estate here. So let's tell me what you think.
Well, because a contract for deed, first of all, the people that are offering this financing, the seller finance, is a setup. Let's get these people that don't know what they're doing. Let's get their savings. They've been saving this $30,000, the 10% or the 20%. Let's get it, and then let's lock them up to making payments for 5 years
at a high interest rate.
And if they default once, now the seller is in the right, and they can actually cancel everything and evict them.
Keep all the money.
Their money, keep their savings, keep everything they paid, and then the buyer walks away with nothing. And it's so unnecessary, because you can take that to an actual bank, get your mortgage, and get a lower interest rate, and not have to deal with a predatory seller.
Yes.
So, and a lot of Hispanics, they find themselves in that position because they think that they don't have any other options due to the lack of information out there. And I really dislike that even within, sometimes some realtors become investors and they're buying properties, and then they're offering this inventory to their clients who lack education or knowledge on the matter. And now they're bringing them in as a, contract for deed purchase, and it's just a vicious cycle. I really like to discourage my buyers from that option. unless they've explored every other option and they still decide that this is what's going to work for them, then, but I'm always supporting them and right behind them, doing research and making sure that we're exploring every option out there, even if that's the last resort.
Yes. And that's just such an important role that we play as realtors, is that we have to build that trust with our clients, but we're also advocating for them. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's such a good feeling at closing, because it's like a natural high that we help. Like I said, I was a social worker for about 15 years, and now I'm a realtor, and I'm glad I have those transferable skills. But sometimes it feels like, and I told you, Claudia, I'm like, Claudia, you seem like you could be a social worker, because you're just so, you're just there with the people. You're just authentic, and you just do the work. You know, it's not like you're just there and you're just trying to get this clientele that, have all this money and you do a lot of,
I do little transactions. I get young girls that are like wanting to be homeowners, and that's not doable, so they go for a condo, and that's their first investment, and then I go all the way up to whatever, the sky is the limit, but I never forget the little transactions, because they're going to eventually grow, and they're going to either sell, come back and buy something else, and there's every transaction matters to me.
But you're just playing such an integral part, though, in their future, in their generational wealth, in their legacy. You are a key influencer on that. So again, I just want to give you your flowers.
I love it. That surprised me. Thank you.
Yes. So let's discuss more about resources. You had mentioned there is a first generation grant. I've also used that with my clients. There's also nonprofits that offer credit building. What are some other resources out there?
Well, there's lots of them out there.
Or that you've used that are pretty successful.
The MMCDC one, I think it's closed right now, but it should reopen at the beginning of 2026. I believe they still have 30% left of the money. So you should still see some activity this coming year. I know Ramsey County has a first generation program and a first time home buyer program. Lots of different cities have different. St. Louis Park has, I think, up to 20%. And then right now the advancing Black homeownership. That's another big one right now. I think it's up to 50,000. So there are lots, and you really need to get connected with the right person, because not every realtor has the knowledge or cares to do the extra work to connect their clients with these resources. Not every lender offers assistance with layering the programs. So I remember when I first started, I was working with a lender, and I started working with her because I had a client that worked with her, and I really liked her service and her demeanor and her the way she was treating the client. But she did not want to do any down payment assistance. She didn't even want to do Minnesota housing. She was discouraging my referrals from doing any assistance.
And why was that?
I really honestly think she just didn't want to do the extra work, because it is more work.
Yes.
But I think she just didn't want to do the work, or she didn't know how to do the work.
Yeah.
So she was telling them, I don't recommend it. You're gonna have to pay it back. And she was misinforming them. I got frustrated. I had to search for another lender that was going to better help my clients. So there's that. And then there's lots of nonprofits. I highly recommend everyone. It doesn't even matter if you're getting down payment assistance or not, but everyone should take a first-time home buyer class.
Absolutely.
There, you just learn so much, and there's so much fun, and you get connected there too, with more resources. So,
yes. So, what are some? I want you to share with me. What are like some 3 main highlighting tips that you would give somebody that says that they want to be a homeowner? And then also, what would be some tips that you would say to someone that is Latino or a person of color that says they want to be a realtor?
Okay, so for becoming a homeowner this is my process, okay? So I recommend let's meet, let's talk about your situation, where you stand right now financially, and your goals. And also just facing your reality, right? Because sometimes it's going to take a little more work to get you there, and sometimes you're ready and you don't even know it. So the consultation, that's what it's for us to get to know each other. Also, just making sure that you're consistent and that you stick to it, you commit to becoming a homeowner.
Yes.
And 3 tips you said, right? So
Well, it can be that, or just what I just didn't want to. I mean, I know there's a long list, but what are like the important ones? It doesn't have to be 3, but just whatever that you would offer.
Sure. So just making sure that you're having those conversations, and then I always recommend that they see a nonprofit. Period. Because I am not a lender. I'm not going to play the role of a lender.
Right.
I know that a lot of realtors have their, on their first meet with someone, they have them bring all of their documents or taxes or pay stubs or bank statements. I don't do that either.
Yeah.
That would be me taking a role that doesn't
Right.
belong to me.
Right.
I'm not licensed to do
Yeah.
that. I should have nothing to do
Because
with
we
that.
know how to stay in our lane.
I stay in my lane, yes. So, but if they're a little insecure about like, hey, so we do have the conversations. How much money do you make? Did you file your taxes? What does your credit look like? We have the conversations.
Right.
I don't need to see their documents.
Yes.
But then from there, I give them the option. Do you want to go to a nonprofit where they are going to run your credit? They're going to take a look at your finances closely. They're going to counsel you. And then this way, you're confident that by the time you get to the lender, you know you're going to get pre-approved. Normally, they take that route, and I like that because then they learn more. And the counselor is going to have additional time for them that I may not have because I'm juggling other clients. So just making sure that they trust. They need to trust their realtor and their lender. They need to trust their
Yes.
team. I don't care what your uncle said because your uncle's not in the
Oh,
business and maybe he
girl,
bought a house 20
know.
years ago.
I love it that you said that because if that was my uncle said.
Yeah, so I don't care. Like that's my tip is, just face your reality, be honest, be transparent about everything. If, you're going through a repo, that's okay. We can maybe figure out a way to get you back on track and make this a 6-month goal or a year, whatever it is. Be honest, just stay consistent with your process and trust your team, and especially your realtor. And then for somebody that wants to become a realtor,
yeah.
just do it. Go for it. Go for
Yeah.
it.
But what is it? What if someone wants? I mean, that admires what you're doing. Let's say it's a Latino person, and they say, I want to help. Lead this group into home ownership. What are the advice that you would give them though on how to be an effective realtor?
Well, first, we're not selling Sunset, okay? So if you're watching
Thank you.
HGTV or Selling Sunset or any of those shows, that's not real.
Right.
That's not real. Maybe here and there you'll see, you'll find yourself there. But I would say stay true to yourself. Why do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Ask yourself, why do you really want to do this?
Absolutely.
And when you go to realty school, they tell you are doing this for your clients, not for yourself.
Yes.
This isn't about your best interest. This is about your client's best interest. So why do you want to do this? It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard, and you are commission only. You don't have a paycheck coming in. So you have to commit. You have to be prepared. You got to have a support system. You may want to have another source of income coming in until you get going. But just never giving up, because eventually it does come. And just be real, be yourself, and have your client's best interest at heart. Because if you're just chasing a check, it's going to be hard.
Right. I'm going to keep it real. I don't think I could have been a realtor in my 20s or 30s. I mean, you have to have thick skin. And again, it's not selling Sunset. I think people, when they see social media, when other realtors make these videos, but I tell folks, especially young folks, it's 95% hard work, maybe 5% sexy, if that.
Yep, it's true. And and it's lonely. It's very lonely because most of the time you're on your own. You might have a team that you're joining, but it is an industry where you really have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, because it does push you into other areas that you never thought you'd be in. So, but just go for it. I think it's worth it depending on your purpose. For me, my passion has been first-time home buyers. I know my purpose. I know what I love doing and why I love doing it. And I think it shows and people can feel it. Mm-hmm. And so I've been successful for that reason. I am not selling Sunset. I don't intend to. And even if I get to those price points, mm-hmm. when I do, I think I'll still stay grounded and I'll still focus on my purpose, which is helping my community and filling in that gap and helping families build generational wealth.
Yes. Now let's talk about today and today's time with unprecedented situations going on in our country, and especially with Latinos and then the I-10 and all that. Tell me, have you heard from any of your clients about having any anxiety around purchasing homes or owning homes, or can you share that with me?
Yes. And this is emotional for me. I go through the motions, and sometimes, it just makes me really sad and anxious.
Yes.
I have had clients want to hold off on mm-hmm. moving forward because they're doing everything the right way. And some, or even some that do have a social security number, but they are here with a work permit.
Okay.
But they're still in limbo with their status. However, they're here legally, they're working legally, they're paying taxes, but they're still in limbo. They are afraid of using their life savings to purchase a property and
right.
being targeted and mm-hmm. losing it all.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of apprehension.
Mm-hmm.
I have had clients call me asking me, what do I do if something was to happen and I were to be detained or deported? How do I protect my assets? So I gave some recommendations to prepare for that with the power of attorney. Mm-hmm. We've not been through this before, so right. This is all new, and I think that's the best way to get started there, just having a power of attorney and maybe a trust or something lined up just in case.
Yes, and to make it clear, this is not political. This is like real life, true story. Reality. So this has nothing to do with that. This has to do how this is impacting real people, real lives, yes. all of that, and how we as realtors are experiencing that.
Yep, and I'm seeing it a lot because a lot of my clientele is ethnic or there are immigrants, and it doesn't matter if they're here legally or if they have a citizenship or a permanent residence. They are still feeling anxious because we don't know where things are going.
Right. Yeah, that can be.
It's really heavy stuff.
Absolutely. Well, hey, why don't we end this with some fun stuff? Let's talk about, when it comes to our Hispanic heritage, do you want to share with us some of your favorite Hispanic traditions that you do at home?
Sure. Well, for us, everything's a party, right? Everything's an excuse to have a party. So we have our carne asadas in the summertime, and the music's playing in the background. I don't know if you've ever played loteria, which is the Mexican bingo.
Oh.
So we play loteria.
Okay, well, you're going to have to invite us over so we can play that.
Sure. Yeah, that is really, really fun. And then, so that, I love Dia de los Muertos, which is approaching too. Yes. I try to create an altar. I don't do it every year.
We do that as well.
Do you?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't do it every year, but I try to, and I do it for my kids to experience that, especially when that movie came out.
I know what you're talking about.
Coco.
Yes, I'm going to have to show you when we're done a video. I posted with that song on there, and I did the altar, and I did my grandparents on both sides of my maternal and paternal and stuff, but I use that,
I love that. I love that movie. And so we do the altar, and I love Dia de los Muertos. Yes. I love the holidays. My mom makes chiles rellenos and nogada. And so I love all of that.
We gotta have a potluck.
Yes. And I love mariachis. I just try to live my culture every day in every way possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, what's your favorite local Hispanic-owned business or restaurant?
My favorite, I love La Cucaracha.
Well, you know what? I got to take you to lunch there too.
Yes.
I owe you lunch, so we'll put that on the calendar.
We'll do that. I love la cucaracha.
My grandmother, my abuela, started that over 60 years ago, and she rests in peace. But she started that, and then now my mom owns it. Well, no, not anymore. My mom sold it, but now my mom. And I'm going to have my mom as a guest next time, but she's going to talk about her experience growing up around real estate. And then she also owns the building, the commercial building that La Cucaracha is in.
I love it. Yeah. I love, on the east side, they have Gorditas El Durango. It used to be in the Plaza Latina.
Yes,
Latina.
Yes.
Yeah, the Plaza Latina. They used to have La Loma there, and now they have that. So
maybe I haven't, because I haven't been in the La Plaza for years, so I'm going to have to go check that out.
Yeah, check them out. And then I love going to La Michoacana for ice cream. I know that's more like a franchise. And I love Taco Libre.
Oh, I know. They're so good too.
Even though it's more of a chain.
Yeah, but it's owned. But I know I actually spoke with the owner. He contacted me about a commercial property that I was selling, and he's Mexican, and he's children, and actually he's building generational wealth because he started that up for his children as well. Yes, so yeah. Yes.
And La Tapatia, have you been to La Tapatia in Roseville? It's off of Snelling over there by.
I haven't, but I heard that I was invited to some realtor resource. Something was going on there, so it sounds like they're very involved.
So La Tapatia, I know the owner. She used to have a food truck.
Yes, she and her son.
And her son, yes. And then she has a daughter too. Yeah. Okay. So she had a food truck, and when I was really when I was a single mom and I was struggling, I lived over there by the Sunray, and she used to park right on. I don't know. It's like off of Ruth.
Ruth over there.
Yeah, Ruth and Wilson and Conway. Yeah. So her food truck was there. So I used to go there on the weekend, every weekend. And we would get the tacos and elote. And my kids just loved her. And she's from Guadalajara, which is where my family's from. So we kind of bonded over tortas ahogadas and the salsa. Because what makes a taco good is your salsa.
Oh my gosh, I know. And you're making my stomach growl right now.
Me too. I'm hungry. Anyway, now they have their restaurant and they're opening a second one or a third one. So they are like the real American dream. They're immigrants, and the mom is a single mom, and she started this food truck with her kids, and their kids grew up and they helped her, and now they have 3 restaurants. So I love supporting them.
Good for them.
Yes.
Had to give them their applause.
Yes.
Name one resource every Hispanic buyer should know.
Ooh. Now you're making me really think, there are a lot of them. You do not need to have a Social Security number to purchase real estate. As long as you're doing your taxes, you have an ITIN number, and you have paper trail, you can buy a home or invest with the ITIN number. And then also you do not need 20% down to be a homeowner. You can have as little as 3% down. So those are the 2. And you have Claudia Gomez here to help you.
Yes, as in Estrella Carter too. But hey, if you she's the fluent, strong speaker. Yes.
Yeah, those are your resources there.
So, tips. In one sentence, what does home mean to you?
Oh my God, home means my gosh, it's hard to put it into words, but it's like your safety is where your children come and visit you, is where you grow, it's where you can grieve, it's your safe haven. And then it's your security, it's your future retirement or your future source of income that's going to help your kids in the future with buying properties or investing and opening up a business. I mean, it's everything.
Yes. Oh, that's really good. You're just full of just great advice and solutions. So, again, thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you. And don't forget, my mom made you some pumpkin flan. So don't forget to grab that on your way out. But I really enjoyed our conversation today, and I enjoyed learning more from you and to continue to help our people. And why don't you share your information?
So my name is Claudia Gomez. My phone number is 651-403-1715. My website is www.claudiago realty.com.
Wonderful. So, hey, homeownership is more than numbers. It's about heritage, pride, and legacy. And thank you again, Claudia, for joining me and celebrating this important conversation.
Thank you,
And
Estrella.
and for all of you, please subscribe, review, and share. Talk to you next time. I will have my mother talk about her experience as a Mexican American business owner, and we will talk soon. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Keys to Real Estate with the House Lady. I hope today's episode gave you some valuable takeaways to guide you on your journey. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and share it with someone who might find it helpful. And remember, whether you're here in Minnesota or anywhere else, I can connect you with a trusted realtor through my national and international network. Until next time, I'm Estrella Carter, the House Lady, helping you live your best life, one key at a time.